ジョジョの奇妙な冒険、アイズ・オブ・ヘブン。
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 Sorry, just gotta set my microphone up. There we go. Sorry, for some reason it wasn't picking up properly. Hi, I'm a weeb. How's it going? Let's get started. So last we left off, we just finished the Part 4 stuff. I don't know, I don't remember when in Part 8 that they were when this game came out, but we got 2 characters from it, so it's gonna be fun seeing how Josuke and Josuke interact. But we need to talk to Rohan, because he's got the plot. What up, Rohan? Have you heard about Kamayu stickers? Kamayu department store in front of Morio Town Station gives them out when you make a purchase. Apparently, stickers from a supermarket in 90s Japan have been spread out all across the ages. Time and space. Now Rohan wants to make a map. So basically, in a stage, there's going to be harvests, Shigechi's stand, and they'll have stickers. So we gotta kick its ass. And honestly, I am 100% down for kicking Shigechi's ass, because he sucks. Oh, what's this item? Something about the Boom Boom family. Alright, well, we gotta go to Morio Town because they got the stickers. We're sticker sluts right now. God, the loading times in this are so great. I'm playing it on PS5 right now, and the PS4 loading times were absolute trash, so I'm really happy that we can do it without having to wait, like, 5 decades. What's up, Jorna? If all this is the work of a stand user, that means there's someone out there whose stand power is the terrifying ability to transcend time. I wonder who can transcend time in this age. Truly a mystery. I don't know if I have any. Okay, I don't. Oh, but we have an enemy. Got a bad feeling here. So let's, really? Iggy and Avdol again? Alright. I'm gonna do me and someone else. Josuke, and... who has a combo? Ooh, Josuke and Rohan. Yeah, let's do that. Now I'll admit, I am not only rusty for these controls, but also I don't remember actually being good at the game last Wednesday. So... this might not be the hypest gameplay on Twitch. Yeah, who cares about you, Iggy, now, though? One of the cool things about this app is there's an Italian restaurant that you can go to and heal your health. So if I start sucking like I am right now, I can possibly fix it. Now I know it's not usually in people's nature to punch a dog, but this is a dangerous dog. Also, Iggy's an asshole. I don't care how much you like Iggy, he sucks. Alright. Just about done with Iggy. Break his guard. Maybe? Yes. What the fuck? He just teleported behind my back. One thing I gotta give this game credit for is that they took the concept of like a boring arena fighter, and they kinda made it a bit more explorable. Like the arenas are a lot more interesting than most of the generic anime fighters that I've played. Alright, we got Iggy. Oh, I'm quite sure they were, Avdol. Alright. I don't think the Italian restaurant's open yet. Dang, I could have really used that too. And they lost part of my health bar. Alright. Just for that, Avdol, I'm gonna trap you in the ghost alley at some point. Maybe, if I can actually get there. And stop teleporting around the map. Holy shit. Alright, you know what? Damn it! I missed with my ultra powerful attack. It's absolutely not my man. And I lost to health bar. Damn, Abdul. I know you're angry that I insulted you, but like... Get some chill. I'll be honest, I really want like a Jojo action game in the vein of like Devil May Cry. Alright, I got him in the alley. I just need to keep him in here. Oh shit! He insulted my hair! Now he gets an instant KO. Huh, that's weird. I killed him in the alley, but we didn't get the dramatic finish.
必ず僕の考えてることと逆のことをする。
熱い友情を期待したんだがよ。
We got a long way to go before we repair the relationship between Josuke and Rohan. Alright, well, I think there are no harvests around here. So let's go to the next area, shall we? Whoa, hold up. There's a harvest right there. But how do I get to it? I can't go into that yard, but it's right up there. Let's swap out to a ranged character, like Mista, there we go. Okay. Now let's do that, but actually this time? There we go. Alright, let's shoot a bitch. Not gonna... Okay. How am I gonna get up there? Because, like, I can't go past this area. Certain locations and stages can be used as sniping points. Oh, alright. Let's fucking go. See, that's how Sex Pistols rolls. What's up, Koichi? Oh, he's a good boy trying to save Yukiko. Well, lucky for you, Mr. Rohan Kishide, I do have 2 more. I'll be honest, I don't think that giving Rohan these stickers affects gameplay in any sense of the imagination. Just gives me quotes at this point. Alright, well that is the Joestar Mansion, so we're gonna go to part 1, I guess. All the way back to the 1800s. I know it's the late 1800s, but I don't know the exact year.
19世紀末、イギリスの貴族ジョナサン・ジョースター、吸血鬼と化したディオを倒すため、彼は波紋の
I never noticed how, like, small the faces were in part 1.
ゾンビたちとの戦いに身を投じていった。
You know, like, it looks like Araki just, like, took the faces and put them just smack dab in the middle, shrunk them down a little bit. Even the stone mask, jeez. Maybe I'm just used to seeing cute shit, and, like, they always have big faces, but... No, see, Jotaro's face has, like, good proportions.
ここは建物の中か。日本のものじゃねえようだが。ここは。
Speedwagon, you should know this. Hey Liz, how's it going?
俺の時代だ。この建物はジョースターさんの。何？
That's right, Jotaro, this is your great-grandfather's mansion. There he is right there. I always forget that Jonathan has a backpack. That's not something I remember him with.
ジョースターさん、ご無事ですかい？スピードワゴン。来るな、こっちに来てはいけない。
Oh, why's that? Oh, hey, it's Dio. Regular capitalization Dio. There's a difference between Dio and Caps Dio.
てめえ、ディオ。
That's right, Jotaro.
確かスピードワゴンとかいうカス。あれがこの時代のディオか。
That's right, this is OG Dio.
そしてあの男がジョナサン・ジョースター。もう一人の方は初めて見る顔だな。だがどうでもいいことよ、ジョジョ。お前の奮戦ぶり認めよう。我が夜のしもべたちを相手によくぞ今まで持ちこたえた。だがゾンビは無尽蔵。まだまだ控えておるわ。波紋の呼吸を整えなくては。ジョースターさん、まずい。戦い続けて疲弊しきってる。
It's interesting that Araki just ditched Hamon after part 3. Like, I know Joseph was in part 4, but he had no reason to use it. They brought, like, something close to it back in part 7, but, like, he just sort of ditched it for stands completely.
いけい、ゾンビども。奴にファンファーレという悲鳴を吹かしてみろ。ふん、させねえぜ。
How's it going, Martin? We're, diving deep into part 1. Sure, I'll play as Jotaro. We're gonna fight OG Dio. Or actually, I think this is like a different event that you can get, where like you have to fight hordes of zombies. Oh no, we're fighting zombies. Yep. Good old 1800 zombies. And they're all cops, so... Why is it that they're all cops? Like, I know that, the cops were, like, killed by Dio in part 1, like... You'd think that we'd have variations. Also, like, we specifically don't have Hamon as Jotaro. Just 22 more. I literally just noticed the counter. All right, we're gonna order that one. Oof. Jeez, Jonathan is doing like really poorly. Let's dive into you, Jonathan. You're supposed to be the badass of this part. Plus, you have like the crazy breathing technique that literally turns these guys into dust. Alright, we're gonna use the most forgotten Star Platinum ability, Star Finger. I think that he only used that once, and then just never again. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've, like, done anything with Part 3. I mean, I own the manga. Maybe I should, like, actually go back and read it again. There we go. We defeated as many zombies as needed.
やれやれ拉致が開かねえな君のその能力はほとばしるようなエネルギー圧倒的なパワーを感じる
Jonathan's such a good boy. It's like Yusuke from Kamen Rider Kuga. Just, for some reason, all the Part 1 guys are wholesome. Oh, you know. You got it from around. Oh, snap! It's the third Dio. Also known as Diego. So the cool thing about this Dio is that he has the power of dinosaurs. He was taken over by a stand named Scary Monsters, and just got the ability to turn into a velociraptor with his name all over the scales.
Diego Brando だと Dio の兄弟か
その程度の発想がこの時代の人間の限界というわけだ
Bro, he's literally from the same era as you. Just a different universe. Jojo's complicated. After Part 6, there was a whole universe reset. But then they also introduced a character that can just transition between universes. And then there's also another version of Diego that has the world as a stand, but he can't turn into a dinosaur, so he's not as cool.
Jojo この世界のジョニー・ジョースターか
ああ何言ってやがんだてめ
えいいとも協力してやるよコンビで奴らを始末する
ジョースターさんは疲労で戦えねえ代わりに俺たちが戦うぜ
I'm sure Jonathan has some fight left in him. At least if the character selector has anything to say about it. Oh no, he's out for the count, jeez. Who feels like they're gonna be fun to play as? Let's do Trish. Don't think Trish has a partner attack with anyone, though. Actually, you know what? Let's do Josuke and Rohan again. And let's see if I can actually get their dual heat attack to activate.
するなよ怪物。
Give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to, skip that. I think my microphone's acting up again, so I'm going to just do a quick test. Sorry if you get, like, double audio. Okay. No, I think it's just not registering. Sorry, so I have a thing that shows me if my microphone's, like, on or not, and I think the LED just burnt out, so. What a wonderful time for an LED to die, like, during stream, so. No shit. Got the cinematic version of that attack. Oof. I forgot that OG Dio had ice powers. Oh, yeah, but that might be good for you, but not for me. Oh, jeez. Those swords look important. I'm gonna grab one. Alright, Dio. We got Crazy Diamond, but with a Zweihander. What's happening over there? Hey, we got healed. Oh, jeez. Alright, screw you, Dio. How'd you get a horse? Alright, other thing. How's this house big enough for a horse? Alright, it's alright. We gotta fight better Dio. Plus I knocked him into Heaven's Door, so we chill. I'm gonna be completely honest, when I decided to go into Red Dead Redemption 2, there he is, there's Dinosaur Dio. Anyways, when I went to go into Red Dead Redemption 2, all of my horses are named after horses in the Screwball Run race. Okay. What the fuck? Rohan, you killed him before I could launch our ultra-devastating attack together. Surely you don't just hate Josuke, but you hate me too. Me, the player. Alright, well, we kicked their asses.
人間ごときにこのディオが膝をつかされるとはよくもいい気になるなよ貴様ら全員いつか必ず切り刻んでゾンビどもの餌にしてやる
Unfortunately, according to history, that doesn't happen. You make a couple of zombies, though.
Oi! てめえらもあのお方とやらのために動いているのか
ふざけた寝言奴とは一時手を組んでいるだけよ
By the end of part 7, like, Diego becomes an actually endearing character. Then they decide that they're gonna bring in another Diego because this one was too nice.
いずれはディオもろとも始末してやる無論 お前もな。
I mean, alright, like, great, finish off Dio. And then set your sights on us. We'll help you. I'll help you.
最後に総取りするのはこのディエゴだ。くそー、逃げやがったぜ。
It's alright. Speedwagon, we rescued your boyfriend, so it's all good.
ジョースターさん、大丈夫かよ。ジョースターさんに言われた通り、聖なる遺体に従って仲間を集めてきやしたぜ。
Wait, how does Jonathan know about the holy corpse? This is the wrong
スピー
Jonathan.
ドワゴン。そういや、あんた自身の話を聞いてなかったな。
See, it all started when androids attacked West City.
どうやって聖なる遺体に導かれたのかを。
俺はジョースターさんたちと一緒にウィンドナイツって呼ばれる小さなロットへ行くはずだった。
Lots of shit happened there in part 1.
吸血鬼と化したディオがそこに潜んでるって情報を得たからな。だがその直前に異変がこの時代に発生しやがった。火事で焼け落ちたはずのジョースター邸が復活し、中はゾンビどもで溢れ返った。
They resurrected the house. That's actually kind of crazy.
こいつは最初はジョースターさんのところに現れたんだ。けどよ、ジョースターさんはゾンビを食い止めるためにここに残った。俺も一緒に残って戦いたかったがよ、無理やり聖なる遺体を渡されちまって時代を巡る旅に出る羽目になったのさ。ありがとうスピードワゴン。もう大丈夫。波紋は生命エネルギー、呼吸さえ整えば体力はある程度回復できる。ジョースターさん、すまねえ。仲間を連れてくるのに時間がかかっちまった。
You know, they did a lot of cool stuff with Hamon breathing. I'm kind of sad that they just ditched it for Stans. Stans got way more interesting, but like, Hamon had potential.
いや、さっきは危ないところだった。助かったよ。助けてくれてありがとう。僕はジョナサン・ジョースター。君は？
Let me tell you an odd story,
空
Grandpapa.
城城太郎だ。
Oh, we get a part 3 character.
空城城太郎、ジョナサン・ジョースター、そして遺体の案内人スピードワゴン。ここで始末してあげるわ。
誰だてめえ。
That's Mariah.
あら、ごめんなさい。あなたとは初対面だったかしら。私はエジプト救衛神の一人、バステト女神のマライア。
Bastet's ability is that it can place an electrical outlet anywhere, and then if you touch it, you become magnetized. It's kind of shitty, because like if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you see an electrical outlet, you probably won't want to touch it.
エジプト救衛神だと。
If you go to an 1800s mansion in the middle of England, before the concept of electrical outlets was a thing, and you find an electrical outlet, you're probably gonna think that something's off.
だが一人で来るとはいい度胸してるじゃねえか。
一人ですって？
ジョジョ、波紋を悪用するとは許せん。
Oh shit, she's got Zappelli. And he's more flamboyant than usual. That walk, jeez.
誰だ。
ジョースターさんの師匠だ。破門の達人だぜ。
あのお方に歯向かうとは救いがたき愚か者。破門を教えたわしの目が節穴だったわ。
なんてことだ。セペリさん、異変に巻き込まれてしまってる。
I mean, if that purple fart gas is anything to go by, then yes.
ジョースターさん、その体じゃ無理だ。いや、僕が戦う。セペリさんに目を覚ましてもらわなくては。
やれやれだぜ。
We need a laugh track every time Jotaro says yada yada daze. Alright, well, I'm gonna swap out Jotaro for Speedwagon in the off chance that maybe they have, like, a combo attack.
なんという奇妙な運命。
Damn it! Does Jonathan have a combo with anyone? No? Alright, well, we're gonna do Jonathan and Speedwagon because I'm still so disappointed in this game's story, man. No, that's fair. It's, they decided that they were going to try and tie all the, eras together. And they were just like, okay, let's just make people evil. You could add Dio versus Jonathan, or Jonathan working more with Johnny, but nope. Part 3 redux. That's true. Like, at least they have a reason, like Part 3 was one of the more popular ones worldwide. But like, if they went with that rule, Part 5 was more popular in Japan, so... Not only that, but like, this came out around when Part 4 was airing, so I'm surprised that they didn't really go with that. Oh jeez, I have like no skills. Alright, well I'm gonna go here and breathe. Thank you. Honestly, I hope they go ahead and make like another Jojo fighter game. And maybe try and like work in the story about it. It's wacky, but I guess that's in line with Jojo. Exactly. And you know what? I'm gonna say it right now. I'm really happy with the Part 7 representation. Dying, just breathe. I mean, yeah, that's just how Hamon works. It's the energy of Sunny. Oh jeez, they're gonna wreck Speedwagon. Right? Valentine was the best part of this game in my opinion. So, I really liked Part 7, because Valentine was, like, legitimately trying to help people in the worst way possible. Like, his thoughts and mind were legitimately unclouded. It's just that he was a real piece of shit about going through with it. Mind you, I'm biased because Part 7 is like my favorite part again. The whole thing between Gyro and Johnny, and like the friendship that they formed, is just, so good. Now I'm gonna destroy Zappelli with the attacks that he gave me. Oh jeez, what's with that guy just freaking out? Is that racist name guy? Ah, what was his name? Oh no, it wasn't. It's just Speedwagon's buddies. Yeah, like all the other villains are dicks, even Pucci sorta knew that he was wrong. Valentine? Nah, he was just a patriot. Exactly! He got whipped so hard he had the stars and stripes on his back. His reason for being an asshole was to make his country the best country in the world. Part 7 is fantastic, but I got spoiled hard. Aw, that's too bad. I got really lucky. I read Part 7 on a plane. It was... And when I say I read Part 7 on the plane, I read all of Part 7 because it was a 9-hour flight. I'm so excited for, like, 2084 when there's a, an anime. But we have to get through Part 6 first. And I don't know how fans are gonna like the end of Part 6. All of it? Yeah! I didn't sleep through that flight. Because, I couldn't. I suck at sleeping on planes, so I just, like, destroyed Part 7. 2084, when Part 8 finally gets the main villain? I mean, like, I forget the Stan's name. But, it feels like the guy with the, Calamity stand is gonna be our main bad guy. That or Jobin. Maybe Jobin will be our main bad guy because, like, he's doing all this for the sake of his son, I guess. Though legit, if you're caught up with the with Part 8, like, it's getting crazy. They're tying it back to, like, the previous universe. How's it going? I'm gonna try a Blycon? There we go. I'm doing pretty well. How about you? I can see that, but it's been like 9 years at this point, so I have no clue. No, that's very fair. Mind you, Part 7 took a hot minute too, so... Yeah, so, I'm not gonna spoil it, but, basically, one of the phenomenons in Part 8 has been happening all the way back to, like, Part 1. And also, Josuke apparently has a power from a previous part as well. Only here I will have a lot of tests.
ソファーに座っとったらスピードワゴンに追い出されたんじゃ。ジョースターさんを休ませるとか言われての。わしもジョースターなのに。
Joseph, come on.
やれやれ。
Some Part 1 love? Not exactly. It's complicated. Play Jojo HFTF? I don't think so. Give me a sec. Sorry, I just got a text. So, I played the, re-release, of Heritage for the Future. I think my favorite part was, playing as Joseph against Alessi and then getting turned into young Joseph. Yeah, that's the Capcom fighter. what was really cool about it was they made a 2D fighting game out of JoJo Part 3. And they went like all out with Part 3 stuff. So if you like that part, then it's definitely for you. There's this one, I think it's a fan game, called like the 7th Stand User or something, where you go through Part 3, but like as a non-canon character. Your favorite part is Part 4? Part 4 is one of my favorites too. I think in terms of like the anime that's out right now, Part 4 is my favorite, but in terms of like everything, then it's Part 7. I love Part 4 because it has like the lowest stakes of any part, and because of that, like all the characters feel like they get enough time. Plus, like, Josuke and the gang are, like, such scumbags. They saw an alien that could transform into dice and were like, hey, we're gonna scam Rohan. I need more 2D anime fighters. Dragon Ball FighterZ is all I can hold on to right now. Oh yeah, absolutely. Plus, it's the most beautiful 2D fighter out there right now. Like, in terms of anime. I'll be completely honest, like, I prefer Guilty Gear to Dragon Ball FighterZ, even though, you know, it's the same engine and all. I'm just a big fan of Guilty Gear. I'm trying to figure out, like, if there were any anime arena fighters I actually liked recently. And don't forget Araki's favorite character is Josuke. Oh yeah! Man, I'm glad that Josuke gets a lot of love. I kinda wish that he got as popular as, Jotaro, in terms of, like, worldwide. Let's go to part 2. So yeah, going back to Heritage for the Future, they actually re-released it in HD for a while, but I guess they probably lost the license or something because it was pulled from the shop. Looks so good, but that's fair. Yeah. But you know what? That might open the door for other Toei properties to get a really cool 2D fighting game. Like, if Dragon Ball can get one, why not a One Piece 2D fighter? I should look into Guilty Gear more, watch Banana Fish right now, and I'm not really not ready for whatever's coming. Oh yeah. God, Guilty Gear Strive is fucking insane. I got into the closed beta, and it felt so good. By the way, I translate the manga Jojo Diamonds and Breakable. Oh yeah? Oh man. I wish I knew enough Japanese to be able to translate stuff. That's some great work that you're doing, then. Honestly, I'm trying to get better at Japanese right now because I'm going to be going back to Tokyo in October of next year. I usually try to go for a month every other year, but I translate from Japanese to Kazakh. Jeez, you're like a master of languages then. Holy shit. Again, I applaud your effort. You're bringing JoJo to the people who need it, and that's great. Right? Like, I absolutely respect anyone who works in translation to bring properties to people in different countries. Even, like, the fucking Duang dudes. Like, that was... It was a funny translation, but it was a translation all the same, and they put some effort into, like, translating to English. It's just a pity I have such a small team, and even then I'm the only one who actually does all the work. Oh man. I've done comics before, and I can really appreciate just how much work typesetting is. Especially if you're having to, like, redraw frames in order to get the correct size. Because I know sometimes in translation, the sentence is bigger in one language than it is in the other.
おお、あそこにおるのは間違いない。
Oh man. I forgot just how wholesome old Joseph seeing Caesar again is.
我が友シーザー、シーザー・テペリ。
Oh man, I feel so bad.
なんじゃこの汗臭そうなガキは。
Hadn't even considered that? Yeah, no, just the work that people who do translation put into their projects is just crazy when you think about it. Especially like, so I watch fan subs of Kamen Rider as it comes out. The strange thing is that he doesn't recognize himself. Yeah, I mean, old Joseph is oof. He is going in his old age. All I know about translation is it's hard if you're not careful, you get duang. Absolutely. And not only that, but like... There's something to be said about localization. Because some things in one language don't work in another language. My favorite... my favorite way of describing it is, in Japanese, there is a pun that goes, Arumikan ue ni arumikan. And that means an orange on top of an aluminum can. And it does not work in English. Like, nobody knows where the joke is in that. But the joke is that arumikan means aluminum can, and arumikan means mandarin orange. So it's sort of like a wordplay joke. But you can't localize that without it just not making sense. So what do? No, I really tried to make the translation look beautiful. That's fantastic. Like, the true heroes are the people who take the work and make it make sense in the new translation. Caesar is always nice to see, but how in character is it that Joseph recognized him and not himself, right?
GG. このとっぽい野郎が若い頃のおめえなのか。
とっぽいとは何じゃ。何こそこそ話してやがる。
お前たち。
But yeah, like, even with the fan subs for Kamen Rider, a lot of the teams actually make animations for the way that they transform in terms of, like, the subtitles. And it's fucking crazy. I have a small audience, but everyone praises what I do. No, and you deserve it, dude. Like, absolutely.
Caesar. Jojo.
リサ先生。 不審者を見つけました。まさかとは思いますが、柱の男の手のものかもしれません。
Yeah, these guys are working for the Pillar Man. Oh, geez, Lisa's turning against us.
これはさっき。 なんという殺気に満ちた波紋。
Actually, little known Jojo reference, but there's this character in Street Fighter whose name is Rose, and her whole deal is that she's a Jojo reference. She is literally just Lisa down to the scarf.
やれやれ。 早速異変が始まったみてえだな。
I mean, yeah, she's such a great waifu that even Joseph lusts after her. Twitch is so unstable on mobile. Oh, absolutely. Holy crap.
今の攻撃は本気だった。
しかし、リサ先生が。
Sometimes I've found that it works better in browser than on the app. Like, very rarely, but sometimes it does. Oh, we get Stroheim too. I find it amazing that, like, sometimes I can tell a JoJo character just by their shoes.
まさかおめえは
There are about 174 chapters in part 4, and I translated only 6. Yeah, but that's 6 chapters that nobody would have read otherwise, so, like, you're still doing amazing work.
メキシコで木っ端みじんに爆裂死したはずのシュトロハイムが俺の目の前にいる。ドイツの医学や科学にはとんでもねえ技術が隠されていて戦争に備えているというが、それで命が助かったのかシュトロハイム。違うなジョジョ。
The designs are one of JoJo's best features, so it makes sense. Yeah. Araki puts a lot of effort into, like, every single part. In his book, Manga in Theory and Practice, he even has this character sheet that goes so in-depth into the characters' backstories that, like, one of the questions that he asks is if they have, like, plants or something. Now, Stroheim, you know that Cars is the ultimate life form. German science is the best in the world! I mean, Joseph has got to agree, because German science is what made his arm. Yeah, straight up, like, one of the sections in the character sheet is if they have any pets or plants, and, like, he specifically mentions plants. Or, like, even any medical operations that they've had. Oh man, I kinda want to play as Caesar. I love my Bubble Boy. I think in Jojo we are shown that the Germans are not so stereotypically. Yeah. Like, we get to see the people who probably didn't want to be in the war. Plus, like, our boy Mark, who got, like, walked into by the Pillar Men, he was done dirty. Oh shit. I didn't breathe. Now I'm getting punished for it. All I'm saying is German science fixed Wilkes' arm, while the SPF didn't fix Polnareff. Yeah. Polnareff was just absolutely destroyed by Ebola, though. Legit, I think Caesar's one of my better characters in this game. Stroheim is such a mixed bag. On one hand, badass Pillarman fighting machine. On the other, massacre a Mexican village. Absolutely. Like, Stroheim pulled through for us in the end, but also he's a Nazi. There are a lot of feelings when it comes to, like, the cast of JoJo Part 2. Alright, I'm gonna destroy him. Dude, it's a shame that in 2 parts Amon was an incredible weapon, and the rest of the parts he was nerfed. Absolutely. Like, Part 3, Joseph Stan's ability was the perfect thing to channel Hamon energy, and he used it as an Indiana Jones weapon. He channeled Hamon through it maybe like a couple of times throughout the whole thing. At least in Part 7 we got the spin. Oh, please don't kill me, Lisa. I need to live. And Caesar committing every crime except murder. Absolutely. Also, like, Caesar was like a douchebag who loved his family, and like I get that that was supposed to redeem him, but he still acted like a huge asshole. The spinning is incredible. What an incredible way to bring back Hamon. Absolutely. Like, and the fact that they used it throughout the series too, in conjunction with stands, like, that's the kind of return to part 1 stuff that I wanted to see. Like, have stands in the mix with the crazy technique. Favorite JoJo villain? Well, in terms of, like, the more likable villains, I absolutely love Funny Valentine, because, like, he was a villain who had a noble cause. But in terms of villains that, like, I just love to hate, it's definitely got to be Yoshikage Kira. Because he was such a piece of shit. That's how Joseph could have been, if only. Yeah. It felt like once people started to really enjoy stands, Araki was like, okay, well just fuck it, we're ditching Hamon completely. Funny Valentine's not a villain, he's an antagonist. No, that's definitely fair. It's kind of like the same vein as Wamu, because like, he wanted Joseph to get stronger, and he did everything in his power to be an honorable fighter. So, like, even though Cars is the villain of the series, and AC/DC definitely is, Kira was such a minor villain, but his presence and terror were incredible, and he was a bitch throughout. Exactly. Again, one of my favorite parts of Part 4 was the fact that it, in the general scheme of things, did not have as much of an impact as anything from the other parts. And because of that, it was more intimate, and you got to know the characters a bit more. Especially the villain, because, like, you follow Kira in his day-to-day life, like, when he steals Kosaku's identity, and goes around doing the husband thing. Like, he becomes a husband and a father. And, the wife, I forget what her name was, gets drawn to him because of that. Because he leans into the part of being a good husband. I think that's why I like him as a villain, because he's just really good at what he does. My favorite stand? God, there's a lot of them. I'm gonna have to think about that one. Because I really like the utility of, Shinobu. Yes, it's 100% Shinobu. I like the idea of Chocolata's stand, Green Day, where it's based on your altitude. Crazy Diamond's fantastic. I'd say that I like, in terms of, like, weird shit, Chocolata, just because it activates based on altitude. And it's, like, automatic, so I don't know, the mechanics are really cool. Crazy Diamond, I think, has a lot of utility potential. Especially what he did in the finale, where he redirected the blood-stained glass to heal to Kira as a bullet. Like, that was... oh man, that was so cool. I also like the utility of, or actually... Diver Down and Kiss were really, really cool, too, from Part 6. Because, like, the ability to dive into any solid object has such great potential in terms of utilization. And Kiss, just, like, being able to split things into two and then have an impact when you remove the sticker. What YouTubers do I watch? Chocolat was my favorite villain in Part 5, when Awful Man who got exactly what he deserves. First off, yeah, absolutely, Chocolata got what he deserved, and I'm really I absolutely love the 7-page Muda. But in terms of YouTubers that I watch, I mean, in terms of gaming, I really like Game Grumps. Not even because they play games well, but because I really like the commentary and the relationship between Danny and Aaron. I watch Critical. I don't know, I like Charlie's deadpan tone. And, I mean, if I have to pimp out my friends, I watch a lot of Dingo Doodles. You should check her out on YouTube. She animates D&D. Specifically the campaign that I was a part of. Where my character was a, well, she was a Jojo reference, let's be honest. I basically, in terms of our D&D campaign, I forgot to make a character until, like, a little bit before the campaign. And I didn't know what to do, and I had my copy of Steel Ball Run that I got from Tokyo just hanging out on the table. So I decided, fuck, Magical Girl Gyro. I've already said this to many people. Oh, whoops, disappeared. I've already said this to many people. This is my first time on Twitch, and it's quite an interesting experience. Absolutely. Like, just being able to interact with the streamer in real time, I think, is a really cool feature, because it helps you, like, actually be part of the, entertainment. Not only that, but, in my personal opinion, I'm a lot better in terms of, like, being entertaining when I'm interacting with people. Speaking of, how is it sort of managing Irina being both a JoJo reference and her own fleshed-out character? That's actually really cool, because Irina, as a JoJo reference, is just was just like her base. That's just what I based the character on. And then when I went through the campaign, that's when she grew. Like, Irina didn't have any backstory that they could work on. Her development didn't come in backstory, it came all during the campaign. And you guys are going to see that in future episodes when she has her arcs. Because, like, it's not... we don't refer to a lot of stuff that she did, because all she did was leave the kingdom to go pursue fashion design. Everything that impacts her is going on right now, and it's a really cool way to play a character. I definitely recommend it. And the fact that she's got such a neat development, right now she's the one I'm most engaged with after the party split, I really appreciate that. I really like the fact that Irina can be a JoJo reference, and then also her own character. Like, I'm so happy when people, like, enjoy what she's doing. And with the way that Dingo's handling the character, I love that community, man. I love you guys. And it improves your already poor English? Your English is pretty great. Like, the fact that I can understand what you're saying is a testament to the fact that you're decent in English. Yes, I love that style, having them grow throughout the adventure instead of having a lot of growth beforehand. Absolutely. And, like, you can have a decent backstory that the DM can pull from, and also just develop your character during the campaign. My current character, Akuto, his whole deal was that he was orphaned and raised by nobles. And the fact that I orphaned the character was something that the DM could pull from and use in his plot, but the character grows during the campaign because of not just the revelations from his backstory, but also his experiences with the party. I don't want to go too much into it, because I don't know if Dingo's going to animate that campaign or not. I'm just mostly watched YouTube streams. Yeah, YouTube streams are actually really good. I'm glad that they added, like, the live option to YouTube. Oh, man. On one hand, Joseph should be hyped that, like, he stayed muscular and also had kids. Because that means that Joseph knows that he's getting laid in the future. But, also, he gets to see what an embarrassing idiot that he grows up into. And I love it. To be honest, I was thinking of streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch, but I find that Twitch is a bit easier to get an audience with. Not only that, but my YouTube channel was more established as like a place where I posted my animation. I still post the archives of the streams to my YouTube channel, but I don't use it as a main thing or anything. In general, all my favorite in Jojo in 4 parts. Implying he wasn't already an embarrassing idiot. No, that's true. That's absolutely true. You know, as soon as I said that, I remembered him, like, peeking in on Lisa, and that shattered my, like, my images of coolness for him.
Jotaro, Kameo. Oi, Speedwagon!
Oh, no worries. If you want to find the channel, just go to my About section, and at the very bottom it'll be like, hey, do you archive your streams? And there'll be a link to it. At the very beginning, there's, like, my old animation work. But, that's about it. I haven't been able to do a lot of character animation in recent years, because, I had this, like, corporate job where I animated, like, training videos and explainer videos, but because it was for internal use only, I can't actually use it for self-promotion, so I, like... My animation trail ends in 2015. Josuke has the coolest looking stand, it kinda looks like Dio's. Yeah, like especially the head part. I think it's because of the heart themes, because both Dio and Josuke have the whole heart thing going on. But yeah, fingers crossed, I'm currently working on a character animation demo reel that should be ready around mid-next year if I do it well. Oh shit, so the weird thing about streaming on my PS5 as opposed to my PC is that the little, like, hey, you followed thing doesn't pop up. So, thanks so much to Martin Chan and, Bali Khan for following me. I really appreciate that. And just as a reminder, once I get to 50 follows, I'm gonna have, like a 50 follower spectacular where I go back to Tony Hawk's Underground. But because my, channel might be demonetized if I use the Tony Hawk soundtrack, I'm recording myself singing 5 ska songs, and I'm gonna use the covers as the soundtrack. So, yeah, keep that hype up once I get to 50 follows. Part 4 is the best villain. Absolutely. Like, Part 4, I guess because they got intimate into his day-to-day life, he's the most endearing villain, aside from Funny Valentine. And again, like, Funny Valentine's more of an antagonist than a villain. But I think that their character development was able to, like, be that tier. Speaking of which, what do you think about the PS5 hype? I'm gonna be completely honest, the PS5 does things that I didn't know that I needed. Specifically, Jojo Eyes of Heaven has really bad loading times on PS4. But on PS5, it's lightning quick. The games are fantastic. I just picked up Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, and the ray tracing is just absolutely beautiful. I even bought a new TV just to take advantage of how nice the PS5 looks. The triggers, they have feedback in them, so if you're... They have, like... I guess, how can I explain it? The resistance of the trigger changes depending on the action that you're doing, and they can program that. So, like, if you're shooting a gun, you don't just pull the trigger down. It has more resistance sort of halfway, so it feels like you're actually pressing the trigger. Imagine finding a PS5. Yeah. Here, I'll address a couple of these comments, but, beforehand, but I got a story about how I got my PS5. We gotta get to 50 ASAP. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm gonna have some help recording one of my covers, because there's a rap section, and I don't think it's gonna sound good if it's like me doing both the singing and the rap, so I'm gonna see if I can get a helper. But I'll also release the songs for anyone who goes to the stream as an unlisted YouTube video, so I don't promise that I'll sound good, but I promise that the recording quality will be alright. Kira has the best villain role in Jojo? Absolutely. Like, they flesh out his character so well that, like, even though you hate him, you really like to hate him. And, like, he does kind of fall into that house life kind of deal that, it shows how human he is before you realize that he's a monster. I love it. But yeah, so going back to the way that I got my PS5. So I wanted it because all of my stupid weeaboo games are on PlayStation. So I was gonna wait for it, but I figured I'd try to get a launch one just to see if I could. And I got to, like, on launch day for the pre-orders, I got to the part where you fill out your shipping information, and that's when they said that they were out of stock. And I was kind of bummed, but I was thinking, like, oh, whatever. I'll pick it up when, like, Final Fantasy 16 comes out, or, like, a game I specifically want comes out. And a month goes by, and I went and grabbed 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. I went to the website to see if they had it, and one of my local stores did at the time, so I reserved it and went there the next day, but I noticed that when I was searching for that game, there was an item in my cart. So I go in my cart and the pre-order, and it says that I can check out with it. And obviously I went to the page where they have the PS5 pre-orders, and it says that they're sold out, so I'm like, what the fuck? So I decide, you know what? I'll try it. The worst that they can do is cancel my pre-order. So I go through the pre-order, and everything goes through. I enter my shipping information, I enter my payment, it says confirmed. And for the entire month that took... Oh, well, it was nice to have you around, Abla. Good luck on your translation. Like, you are doing great work. But yeah, like, for the whole month, I was just thinking, like, okay, like, today's the day that they're gonna cancel my pre-order. I had the tab open until they actually shipped it. And when they shipped it, I'm like, okay, there's no way that my PS5's actually coming. So, bye-bye. So, like, when it actually came, when, like, the delivery man walked up with the torso-sized box, I was just like, wow. Tons of people were not able to get a PS5, but I tripped and fell into a pre-order that I should never have gotten. And that's how I got a PS5. I don't deserve it, but I got it. I'm pretty sure I exploited a glitch in the website in order to get the PS5 by accident. PS Jesus looked down on me and smiled? Absolutely. Oh man, we got the whole horse here. Little known fact, but when Avdol died in part 3, Whole Horse was actually supposed to replace him. It was going to be like a villain to hero kind of situation. But people liked Avdol so much that they brought him back. Only to kill him off later, but still. I still love how Whole Horse is treated in Jojo. You got people who can stop time, and the guy with the gun is still super threatening? Absolutely. Like, just because you have a super powerful punchy ghost doesn't mean that you're immune to bullets. And I think that kind of levels the playing field. Imagine getting brought back to life only to piss in a hole and then get eaten by ice cream. Yeah. Avdol had a rough time. All that's left of him is arms. Like... And, on top of that, he died before the Part 6 reset, so his soul doesn't even come back. The Avdol in Part 7 is a completely different guy. Or I guess, if you believe in that theory. Some people think that, the whole Part 7 thing was the reset universe, but I think they, Sorry, I thought I saw a whole horse's shadow. That was weird. But yeah, some people think that the Part 7 universe is the world of the reset, and unfortunately that's incorrect. I'm doing this thing for fun, arranging a ton of characters in a tournament of power situation. It's hilarious how quickly they can die to a gun. Absolutely, because you have to like specify that they're resistant to bullets. Oh, and we don't have Hamon, so we can't. I agree with you. I think Part 7 is its own thing. Absolutely. One thing I love about Part 3 is just how quickly Araki forgot about Starfinger. Like, it's brought back in all sorts of Jojo media, because Jotaro needs a ranged attack, but he only uses it, like, maybe twice. I say maybe because I can only remember him using it once. But then you remember, like, in Part 4, he went hunting for rats with Josuke, and he, like, fired a ball bearing with his flick. Same thing with Giorno's damage counter. Absolutely. Though I think that's partially because it was a bit overpowered. Like, I love the fact that if you hit one of the things that Giorno creates, like, that's it for you, you get the rebound. But I think that would have prevented him from taking a lot of hits. Oh man. I'm just gonna pour something. I went to my local Asian supermarket, and I got super excited because I found this iced oolong tea that I got at restaurants while I was in Tokyo. And it tastes like filtered water that's been beside tea. Like, it's got, like, very little taste to it. But I love it just because of remembering just how it was. Yeah, but sadly that nerf got negated when Gold Experience Requiem happened. Yeah. Not only that, but in the novel George Joestar, he was able to ignore 36 universe resets because of Gold Experience Requiem. Though technically Rohan's stronger because he was able to ignore those resets just by working hard on his manga. Legit, like, the reason that Rohan was able to stay as himself through all 36 resets was because he was just working too hard. But that book's not canon, so whatever.
Oi! なぜ俺たちを狙う?
What the fuck is Joji Joestar? Every time I hear about it, it's more and more like a fever dream. So it was a non-canon light novel that was split into 2 parts. Yeah, and also the funniest Valentine, and the fact that there are 36 versions of Cars on Mars, because for some reason Part 2 always happens the exact same way, but, you know, Cars stays in space and just more of him keep coming. And also Cars can steal stands. He steals not only Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, but also steals Killer Queen and Bites the Dust. It's fucked up. Yeah, he can just ask... Cars can just be like, hey, stand, could you pretty please leave your user and come with me? And the stand will just go. Araki actually didn't write the novel, I don't believe. Let me look that up really quickly. Let's find out. Yeah, it was written by Otaro Maijo, though Araki did some illustrations. But there's one thing that I want to make sure before I commit to it. I'm pretty sure that... So there are 2 stories. One that takes place with George Joestar II, like Jonathan and Irina's kid. And then the other story is the crazy one with Detective George Joestar. That makes sense. Araki can come up with some crazy stuff, but at least it's always somewhat sensible. Also, Cars is on Mars is my favorite phrase. Also, like, there were new concepts for stands. Like, there was one called a wound, where it's a stand created from trauma. There are bounds, which is like they emerge with an element or like environment and freely manipulate it. Beyonds, which is like, how can I explain beyonds? It's like, it's plot armor. Yeah. So a beyond is a plot armor. But what's really interesting is that the wounds, I believe, were actually named after movies instead of music. That's radical. New stand types are something that I've wanted since forever. Absolutely. Though, I will admit, the fact that the stands became more specific over time because you run out of ideas is my favorite thing ever. Like, there was one in Part 7 called Catch the Rainbow, where, I believe it was called Catch the Rainbow, where its power was it was able to treat water as a solid, but only naturally occurring water. So, like, he could walk on raindrops, but if you had a sprinkler going, that doesn't count. Even soft and wet I absolutely love, because its power is to steal the quality of an object. Ozone Baby is one of your favorites. That's pretty good. I also absolutely love the localization of names as it went on, because that's where you get your changes from Bad Company to Worse Company, or like Limp Bizkit to Flaccid Pancake. Like, everyone knows Filthy Acts at a Fair and Reasonable Price, but no one ever thinks of Flaccid Pancake. And that is a crime.
Oi, Jojo. Omae, nanika gomakasoutou shite nai?
Zipperman? Fucking spicy lady?
この島は人の住むようなところではないらしい。
Another cool one was Polnareff. His name was changed to Jean-Pierre Eiffel, which is, you know, if you had to think of a generic name for a French guy, that's what you think of. Right? And, you know, to give this game credit, they just call him Jean-Pierre, which I appreciate, because every time I saw Jean-Pierre Eiffel, I fucking lost it. Yeah, look it up. They call him Jean-Pierre Eiffel.
面白そうな闘技場のようではあるが。
何?
Right? Like, straight up, not only do they do Polnareff dirty throughout the entire series, like, his sister dies, and then he takes revenge on the man that he did it wrong. Like, he just sucks at taking revenge. And then he's absolutely useless in the final fight against Dio. And also he has to watch Avdol and Iggy die, and then his body is fucking destroyed by Diavolo, and then he becomes a turtle, only to have them change his name in the real world to fucking Jean-Pierre Eiffel. Right, Polnareff gets crippled while Jotaro looks at starfish. Polnareff is a goddamn hero to the series, and he has been done the dirtiest. Now that being said, the happiest story in JoJo is that Joseph's relationship survives his infidelity, and I'm pretty sure he lives until the end of part 6. Everyone always talks about Kak, but Paul was consistently good. Yeah, Kakyoin was like a cool Joe bro, and all Polnareff, like, he pulled his weight. I love Kak but so much of his good moments came at his death or slightly before. Absolutely. Right, like, Joseph is, like, the best at surviving out of everyone. He outlives Jotaro. He outlives his granddaughter. Well, sorry, great-granddaughter, jeez. I mean, I assume that Josuke lives through Maiden Heaven, but everyone kind of figured that, because, like, nothing in Part 4 mattered. He's the only one to survive the early death curse? Oh, yeah!
Oh my god! Kazumaでやってきよった! どういうことじゃ? わしの知る角度は違っておるのか?
To be fair, Joseph, you don't remember the past very well. This could have absolutely happened and you just forgot about it. At least that's what we know of. Watch Josuke get hit by a bus. Wouldn't that be poetic? Just... the death is by a public service vehicle, just like his enemy. Or, hear me out here. Josuke gets hit by the isekai truck, and gets taken back to the 80s, where he saves himself.
Kazu-sama, Ishirishi-sama. あのジョジョという男と私はローマで決闘の約束をしました。
I know it's stupid, but I'd love, like, a Jojo isekai, where, like, somebody gets reincarnated as a Jojo character and, just is responsible for, like, the behind-the-scenes shit. Actually, because this game introduces Speedwagon as a time traveler, kind of like Trunks. Wouldn't it be fucking baller if, like, Speedwagon was alive as a time traveler throughout the whole thing, and he was actually behind the scenes as the Speedwagon Foundation? I heard somewhere that Bite the Dust was supposed to send Josuke back to save himself. I could see that. I think that would have been a really cool detour where, like, Josuke had to, like, escape the past. I love how Part 4 played out, but... Speedwagon has been watching over the JoJos all along. Absolutely. Speedwagon is the permanent Jobro. Then he became Mountain Tim in the reset. Well, I guess the reboot, sorry. It took me forever to realize that the Redstone of Asia is also a music reference to the band Asia. Just because they don't spell it like ASIA, they spell it AJA. I think the idea of a time-traveling guardian is dope, and having it be Speedwagon would be perfect. Absolutely. It is, I never knew. Yeah! One thing I absolutely love, just because of this stream, is the fact that I can just, like, spout out JoJo trivia. And anyone who likes my D&D character can learn. They can learn about how amazing JoJo is. Though I will admit, I didn't really pay too much attention to Part 6 as I should have. That's just my beat. Bro, I'm here for it, I'm learning. Yeah, absolutely. Like, I didn't get into JoJo until the first season of the anime was airing, my friend Kyle just told me that I'd like it, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. And I fell in love. Like, I watched Phantom Blood as it came out, and then while that was going on, I started reading Part 3, and at that point, like, from Part 3 to Part 8, I've been keeping up with the manga. Part 6 was great, but after End of Eva, the ending makes me even more sad. Yeah. You started after Part 5 ended? Well, that's a... like, I'm not gonna fault you for that. Just... that means that you have a lot to watch. And, like, David Production does such a good job capturing everything that goes on. Like, I can't fault them for anything. Like, I'll even admit, Part 3 could have been shorter. They could have left a lot of that stuff out, and it would still be great. But they took the effort to recapture all the dumb, like, monster of the week battles. I did the right order, and I finally finished Part 6 manga like a month ago. Congrats! Now you're all ready for the anime to come out. I feel so bad for Emporio, because like he survives in the new universe, but everyone he knows and loves is different. That's true, David Production is insanely good, and I love how, unlike a lot of studios, people want the extra content. Right? Like... God, they do such a good job. And, you know, I will admit, like, they do have to rush certain things for them to air on TV, and they have to fix it up for the Blu-ray version. Emporio's the clutch hero, poor boy. Absolutely. God, like, even his stand, like, burning down the house is a ghost of a room. And that concept is absolutely crazy, because that means that inanimate objects can be ghosts. And they explore that in a side story with Yoshikage Kira. I can't mention Naruto without someone mentioning filler, but Jojo? Everyone freaks out when there's an extra scene and I'm here for it.
Jojo, so
the one where he's cute? Yeah. No, like, Araki specifically mentioned that the rules for ghosts are actually a lot stricter than the rules for people. So, like, if you die and become a ghost, that's, like, a huge punishment. So, like, for example, like, I believe you're not actually allowed to enter a room without being invited in, and that's, like, a traditional vampire rule. I could be wrong, but I know that he has, like, specific constraints for ghosts. And also the fact that, like, after a while, the ghost cleaners will come after you and, like, erase your ghost existence. That's a shame, but also a perfect punishment for Kira? Absolutely. Let's just, have them wait for me to fill up my Hamon bar. Ooh. Come on, dude. Okay, guess you're not gonna do that for me. Oh geez, being erased from existence is terrifying. One of the reasons I was genuinely scared of the saga. You know, I gotta make an admission. I only actually watched until the end of the Cell Saga, and I didn't continue into the new saga. Vegeta dying actually mattered, and the idea of no afterlife is spooky. Absolutely. Like, I kind of like the concept of reincarnation because of that. Because, like, you get to just come back. I'm not missing much? Okay. I mean, I'm going to go back and watch the Bruce Saga at some point. Just because I feel like I'm missing out. Alright, ACDC. Let me do it for a sec. Yeah, I'm gonna go and watch the Buu Saga at some point. I'll probably watch the Kai version, because, like, if it's not enjoyable, I just want to continue the plot. It's got some of the best stand-up moments, but the whole arc is just so poorly done. That's true. I think that's why it's usually one of the shorter arcs. Oh, jeez. One of the shorter arcs in the video games. Nah, I think the Cell Saga was probably the best way to end the series for me. I'll also, like, give mention, a lot of people don't like Dragon Ball Super because I'll be the first to admit that I made a whole bunch of poor decisions. But the Zamasu Saga with Future Trunks, I like it. Yeah, because so much is just Gotenks fucking around. Yeah, and I don't like Gotenks at all. I could do without Gotenks, and that is the polite way of putting it. Oh, bro, I'm gonna struggle. Well, that's just how it is. I'm sure that I will. But, I mean, I can always skip ahead. I have the ability to fast forward. There we go. And yeah, I like to go through Black Arc a lot, but the ending bummed me out. Absolutely. Not only because, like, Trunks' timeline was erased, but because they did it so lazily where he has to live with himself. Like, they could have been like, you know what, Trunks, your timeline was erased, but at least you have, like, our Earth, right? And, like, Bulma's still here, and, like, all your family and stuff. But no, they were like, hey, Zeus here says that there's a whole timeline for you, but you'll have to, like, be an intruder in it. And then we never see Trunks again. Like the headcanon that just after his timeline was erased, that's when Trunks joined the Time Patrol, and all of, like, Dragon Ball Heroes and Xenoverse happened. Trunks fights for decades for peace, and then they just ruin his entire existence because fuck him, I guess. Right? Like, I think that's why I like Xenoverse and Heroes, because they do something with Trunks. Like, they let him be the cool time-traveling hero that the multiverse needs. That's a nice headcanon. I'll accept that, though sadly I don't vibe with heroes. No, that's fair. But I think because it's, like, a side thing, they have a lot of freedom. Okay, that I love about Xenoverse. Yeah! Give the boy some love, let him be a badass. Exactly, and like, in Xenoverse 2, I believe, Trunks gets to go fix his past. Like, not like the androids in, like, the Goku past, but he gets to save Gohan. It's kind of interesting. Out of, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Naruto, like, that whole thing, I only actually kept up with Dragon Ball. Like, I didn't watch a lot of Naruto because I thought that he was super annoying, and because of that I didn't get into Shippuden, which, you know, I should have. But, Future Gohan's death always makes me sad. The guy was too stuck trying to revenge his past, he didn't realize what he had to do. Yeah. Future Gohan is a very sad character, and the scary thing is that's what Gohan would be if, like, he kept being a fighter. He's super annoying? Yeah, pre-Shippuden Naruto is, not my bag of tea. I think I watched until the end of Zabuza, like, the giant sword guy, before I was like, you know what, this ain't for me. But, you know, at some point I'll probably go back and give Shippuden a chance. And as for One Piece, that was completely ruined for me because of Yago Orchid's One Piece. Like, the whole rubber knife scene with Usopp. I knew in my heart of hearts that was supposed to be a crazy moment. But then they were like, nah, bruh, it's not a real knife. Zabuza is fantastic, but I definitely get why you would be turned off by this before. Yeah. Right? Like, two of my friends are super into One Piece. And, you know, I'm glad for them. But it's a lot. That being said, Felix is getting into One Piece. So that's going to be really interesting to, like, live vicariously. How on earth is it still going? I don't know. Apparently Oda said that, it's like 75% done, so we're in the last quarter. But the last quarter of a series that's been going on for that long. And you know, as soon as, like, Jojo can get away with it, because, like, every part is a new main character. Like, you get to refresh the story as much as you want. But with One Piece, it's like, they're still going. It's interesting, though, because I don't think it's ended up like Bleach, where they just rehash the same story every arc. Like, oh, Ichigo loses his powers, but gets the different one, and then he gets all of them. Dude, it's a DM, it's hilarious how often the players can just tell, oh, it's because he saw blank. Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I'm trying to write a campaign right now, and I realized about halfway through the planning stages that I'm basically writing Shin Megami Tensei. The whole idea of the campaign is that your characters get stuck in the apocalypse where two worlds are merging together. And it's a more modern fantasy setting, but you play as, like, D&D era characters that have to, like, learn how to use a computer and whatever. But that's just Shin Megami Tensei. The apocalypse happens, the demon realm invades, and then you gotta choose between law and chaos and whatever. And I even had that, where it's like, yeah, you know, the characters can choose whether they want to, like, keep this merged world, or if they want to return things to the Order, and then they'll have an antagonist that wants to do the opposite thing that they pick. But I'm gonna keep going with that. That's so cool, but I get what you mean. Yeah, again, I'm still gonna go with it. I feel like it would be an interesting setting to have, just in general. And the fact that Shin Megami Tensei does it doesn't mean that it's, like, stolen idea. It just means that it's a good idea. Not only that, but I kind of want some of the antagonists to be, like, legit demons and angels. Yes, what matters is the delivery, you know? No new ideas under the sun and all that, but how you do it is what matters. Absolutely! Otherwise Shonen would have died out a long time. Absolutely. Storytelling in general. Like, tons of tropes have just been around since, like, Grimm's fairy tales. That's why I think it's important to, like, if you are able to get past the language, go back and read some of those classics. I'm reading the Adventures of Arsène Lupin right now. I'm currently going through Arsène Lupin, Gentleman Thief, which is a collection of stories that Maurice Leblanc submitted to magazines. So each chapter is its own self-contained story, but it's an overarching plot. And then I'm going to be moving on to 813 and the Hollow Needle. But just having all this like classic gentleman thief literature is really getting me pumped in appreciating the modern stuff. Like, for example, Lupin the Third and Persona 5. Is that what Lupin the Third ended up? Sorry, ended up getting based on? Absolutely. That and Persona 5. Where can you find those stories? Well, number one, they printed them in books, so you could probably find them at the library or order the book off of Amazon. I ordered the book from my local bookstore. But Arsène Lupin is in the public domain right now, so it is completely legal to download a PDF of it and just read it like that. They even have a crossover with Sherlock Holmes, but like Arthur Conan Doyle was like, "Ah, that's copyright, bruh." So he had to rename Sherlock Holmes in his story to Herlock Sholmes. Oh, my kitty cat wants to come. Hello, Smokey. Yeah, well, I guess I got something to read now, and now look at Sherlock. Yep. Yeah, I guess what I'm reading right now is I'm reading Arsène Lupin, and I'm gonna read all 3 of those. Copyright my ass, sorry, Doyle. Yeah. Well, now Sherlock Holmes is public domain too, so like whatever. I'm also reading The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That one I read in junior high and absolutely loved, but I could never find the sequels. So I'm hoping to just like go through all of them. Even the one that the guy who did what was it called? Artemis Fowl, I think it was. Yeah, the guy who wrote Artemis Fowl wrote like the last book in the Hitchhiker's Guide series. So that's a classic. I gotta read it sometime. Absolutely. I will admit, like the whole point of the book is that nothing happens and nothing matters. But it's got like that dry British humor that I like. And I'm also I'm gonna preface this by saying I'm using these 3 books that I'm reading right now to just delay reading it. But I picked up a copy of The Count of Monte Cristo unabridged, and it is like the size of the Bible. Like it is going to be a tough time to read. I think that it's going to be as big of a challenge as reading all of Part 7 was. It's probably larger. Good luck, I'll need it. Absolutely. Like, I really want to read The Count of Monte Cristo because I love a story about well-calculated revenge, but also it's super long. Okay, I'm gonna shut up for this one, because this is legitimately a really heartwarming scene with Joseph. Gotta wake up in 6 hours, good luck, and I'll be sure to check the books out. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry that I kept you up so long, but you're gonna stick for the scene? Fantastic. We'll get this over with.
ジョセフ・ジョースター、それ以上喋るんじゃない。
くだらねえぜ。50年前の死人なんかを持ち出すな、このバカ。なんだと、ジョジョ。会ったこともねえ先祖の因縁なんか。
黙ってろ。ジョセフ・ジョースター、お前さん、ちっとばかし人より頭が切れると思っとるだろうがな。わしからすればまだまだひよっこじゃ。
なんだとこのじじい。
世の中にはお前の知らんことも多い。それを知る前に軽率に言葉にしては必ず後悔することになるぞ。君も冷静になりたまえ。無茶をすればどんな勝負にも勝てんぞ。
これは俺の血統の問題だ。セペリ一族の問題なのです。カズが目の前にいるのに一族の恨みを晴らさないわけにはいかない。
君の一族を思う気持ちは尊い。じゃがな、同じように君を思うご家族や仲間のことも忘れんでやってくれ。 万一のことがあっては残された者の後悔は深い。君にはそういう覚えはないかね。
だからといってこのまま引き返すわけにはいかん。
So, old Joseph knows what's going to happen, and he sees his younger self and his best friend that sacrificed himself arguing about petty things right in front of him. And his heart breaks. Like, holy shit. Just giving Joseph that ability to resolve that and get his feelings of regret out right there. Eyes of Heaven did that absolute justice, and I think that's why, like, I absolutely love this game, no matter how kind of janky it is and how the story might not make sense all the time. Just having that scene where old Joseph gets to address his trauma is worth the price of admission.
あれ、おかしいの。勘違いじゃったか。わしが聞いた話じゃと、確か33日後にローマで戦う約束だったような。
What a legendary scene, I gotta give it some more credit.
そうい
Absolutely.
う風に聞いたように思うがの。まだ6日も猶予があるのに、なぜそんなに戦いを急ぐ。
Plus, Joseph is buying them time.
やはりこの2人の成長の速さにビビってる
Good
と
night,
いう
tacos.
ことになるのかな。
Thank you so much for joining me.
そうそうよ。今の戦いで確信したね。あと6日もあれば俺とこのシーザーは。
God, that shit-eating grin that Joseph has is absolute gold.
お前ら3人まとめて干渉するくらい強くなってみせるぜ。
へえ。
いいだろう。くだらん挑発だが乗ってやる。我らにとって6日など瞬きにも及ばぬ。そのわずかな時でいかほどのことができるか。行く
Thank
ぞ
you so much, Cars.
エシディシワム。
おい、おいぼれ。お前も波紋使いか。俺はお前とも戦ってみたくなったぞ。
Don't go off the handle there, AC/DC. That could be interpreted as sexual.
お望みとあらばな。6日後に会おう。冗談じゃない。さっさと行け。お前らの相手なんぞ二度とごめんじゃ。
Oh, man.
楽しみにしているぞ。
I don't know if you can tell, but Joseph Joestar, just in general, is one of my favorite characters in JoJo.
ジョジョ、腕を磨き、さらに強くなれ。
Coming back to it, like, I legitimately think that Part 2 might be tied for Part 4 as my second favorite.
ちくしょう。奴ら好き勝手なこと言いやがって。だがなんとかしのげたぜ。
I mean, good job, Lisa, for, like, keeping your composure for so long.
大丈夫か、リサリサ。
ええ、ところであなたは誰なの？
I'm your son!
わしか？そうじゃな。
Oh, shit, is he actually gonna
何から
explain it? I
話をす
completely
れば
forget
い
to
い
be
のか。
honest.
ま、詳しい話は中でしよう。丈太郎。
I like how Jotaro's just the designated turtle guy right
シーザー。
now.
ああ、ジョジョも一緒に。
That, yeah, I'm your son is pretty much what he's going to say inside the turtle. being completely honest, like, having the turtle around just so that, like, they don't have to do plot all the time is a really good way of streamlining things. Like, especially because this was made for fans in mind, like... everyone knows what they're going to talk about inside the turtle, so... Oh, we also got a corpse part.
近くに聖なる遺体があるようだな。
Speak as a command? I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't use Twitch chat a lot, so I wouldn't know. How's it going, Angel? Thanks for joining me. There we go. We cut Harvest. Had I played this game before? Yeah, but quite a while ago. I think I played it in, like, geez, 4 years ago in 2016. So I forget a lot of stuff. We just passed the legendary scene where Joseph talks to himself and Caesar and gets really emotional. It's really cool, like, just going through the stuff that I completely forgot about. I know I'm really excited for the Funny Valentine reveal. That is one of my favorite parts of this game.
さあな、俺も詳しいことは知らん。
あ？遺体だと？なんだこの光は？
よし、遺体が手に入ったぜ。
Man, we don't have a lot of those left. To be fair, we don't have a lot of parts left, because we got through part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Yeah, we just have 6, 7, and 8 left.
なんだと？そんなこと言われてもピンとこねえ。そうだ、いいこと思いついたぜ。シーザーに見せて嫌がらせしてやるもんね。
What a fucking dirtbag. I love Joseph. You know, thinking about it, Josuke definitely takes after his father in terms of, like, being just a punk. I'm glad that this game gave Part 2 the respect it deserves. It's definitely one of the strongest parts in Jojo, and it is a testament to how good it is that... sorry. That it's consistent throughout all timelines. Like, Part 2 happens after the universe reset in, Part 6. It happens in the Steel Ball Run universe, and it happens in fucking George Joestar 36 times. What's up, OJ? What's up, Jonathan? Yeah, he's missing his old well, I guess instructor. Alright, well, we just finished part 2. So I think this is going to be a good place to end it for today. Let's just double check. Okay, so we're going to part 6 next. So, yeah, I'll say, I'll end it here for tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me for some more Jojo. I always love to talk about Jojo trivia. And, I guess, keep an eye out next week. From what it looks like, until I finish the games for the foreseeable future, it's going to be Persona 4 on Mondays, Jojo on Wednesdays, and Nightfire or some other retro game on Saturday. I'm pretty sure I can finish Nightfire next session, so I'll figure out a new retro game to play. But thanks for joining me. See ya!